You are now paired.
Hey y'all, y'all know how we do. Welcome to the Mike is High Instagram Live Podcast Show. Let's go. Hey Ken, I see you. Hey C Tina, welcome back to the show. Good to see you guys this evening. Welcome back to the Mike is Hot Instagram Live Podcast Show. Every Thursdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Western Time. Y'all know the vibes. Come on in. We got a good show for y'all tonight. You know we always have a good time trying to end your week and get you into the weekend right. So let's go. Show started off right. What's up, y'all? We back on the Mike is Hot Instagram Live Show. Let me go ahead and turn on my camera so I can see all you beautiful people. All right, Orlando, take your time. Hello, hello. This filter got me looking real, just extra, like, Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mic is Hot Instagram Live podcast show. Y'all know how we do every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Western Time. I had a good flow. I messed it up at the end. What's up, y'all? Hold on, where my guys at? Michael, I don't know what happened to him. Hey, 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 it's a party, hey. Hey, Kim.
What's going on? What's going on?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm home from work and I'm
good.
Chilling.
Good. It's a good feeling when you get off of work and you can just chill.
For real.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Mic is Hot Instagram Live podcast show. Y'all know how we do every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Western Time. We got a good show for y'all. We got a good show for y'all every time.
All
Just know that. Every time, all the time. Because we don't box ourselves in on this show, you know?
No, why would we do that?
We try to let it all hang out. Breasts and all.
Too much sometimes. To be real.
He didn't hear what I said. Breasts and all.
Oh, goodness.
All right, y'all. We got a good show for you guys tonight. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody's winding down. They're relaxed. We're waiting on our other hosts to join the show. They were, oh, hey, Charmaine.
Hey, Charmaine.
They were in the, hold on. Yeah, they was right there. I don't know what happened. Hold on. I got to take this to Gatner. This filter is killing me. I'm like, yo, these filters, child, with these eyelashes.
Right, because you be showing us videos, and then next thing you know, it'd be like a real masculine dude, and you'd be like,
they be like, well, I knew she had on the filter. You'd be like, damn. Michael, where? I don't see you. Hold on. Okay, I see him. All right, let me invite you in, Orlando, so we can be all on one accord. Hold on. It's not. Okay, there it is. Y'all should be coming on camera. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Michael.
I didn't think we was going to have you tonight.
I know.
Oh, yeah. There was miscommunication on my part with Christina. Like, I told her, like, I might have to work, like, all day today. But it's one of those things where it's like, you want to go to work, but your body is like, nah, nigga. We ain't doing that today. So
yeah, I work beyond it constantly.
Hey, Orlando.
Orlando.
Hey,
good. What's
hey,
good? What's up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Good. How's everybody?
I'm pissed.
Why?
Man, you already know why. Shit. We done from earlier today. Shit. Well, no, like
Michael was filling me in on the She-Hulk series, how trash garb it was.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I didn't see it yet.
Okay, well, I'm not going to spoil for you anything. Like, like everyone knows on the show that I'm like a huge like MCU like comic book nerd and geek, and like I'm just gonna say I did not like that shit. Like, I had a problem with like the entire goddamn series. There was probably like maybe 1 or 2 episodes that I was like, oh, okay, that's better. But the entire series by itself was just garbage, in my opinion. Like, I'll be very surprised if it gets a second season. But I don't know, man. I just need Kevin Feige. I need you to get back on your shit, bro. You can't let shit like this happen. Like, you can't.
I think we kind of differ. I love the show.
I'm not surprised. Jeez, what a surprise!
I think it's one of my favorite series out of the MCU for sure.
This is shocking news. Who would have thought? Oh my God, Ken likes the show.
Well, hey, everybody has their.
I think it's
No,
I
yeah,
think it's a
everyone like
nice departure.
it's different for everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just
Yeah.
don't like it when people who don't like the show were immediately called something. It's kind of like, wow. So just because I have an opinion about a show, my main reason is like I thought the writing was like absolute shit.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
have to
It's
writing was
agree.
great.
the writing was just absolute. Oh my god.
I thought it was so good.
I have to agree with
Well,
Michael on
yeah,
this
we're
one.
gonna
I
have
didn't
to
like.
change
I
subjects
thought it was
because like
too.
I could talk about this show all fucking episode long.
You
If we
just
really
don't
want to
like
go there.
strong female characters.
No,
Well,
yeah,
Nova,
exactly. As
Nova,
soon as you say that about the show, that's the first thing they go to. It's kind of like, really, that's all you could think of. I don't like
no,
strong female characters.
Nova
Like
said
that's all
he
you
was
got.
done when Nova said he was done when he saw the graphics.
Hey, that's another one of my issues. It's like we're talking about Disney here, fucking Disney, and the
Oh,
graphics look like
They
it was
got that
something
money.
like out of
oh Lord.
2005, bro. Like it was. Oh man, that's just one of the like multiple problems that goes with the show. But you know, I don't want to
I
spoil it for
didn't
anyone
mind it at
because.
all.
Uh,
I thought the graphics were fine. I thought I do understand that they're kicking these like Marvel films out constantly, and then a lot of them are getting underpaid, so they're kind of overworked, and they're probably doing like shoddy jobs here or there. But in terms of what, it didn't necessarily take me out of the show at all. So I'm not fucking with him. I actually like
yes,
it.
you are. Yes, you are. Nova Kane, I agree with you 100%. He's trolling the shit out of you right now.
I'm
I get
not.
it,
I
fucking
actually like
with
the
you.
show. I am a She-Hulk fan.
Okay, well, for y'all that like She-Hulk, go ahead and check that out and give your own opinions on. Look at these filters, y'all. Look at this shit.
Is that your eyes? What?
Yes, like what in the world?
No, you starting to look like Pennywise in that one.
No, yeah, you did kind of have like some scary ass, yeah, Pennywise like eyes
Like
and shit.
clown
I
look.
love that movie, It. Okay, I just have a question. What was it? Was it like the kids' traumas?
No, it was like from what I remember, God, it's like he's like some type of like powerful entity.
Yes.
It's like very godlike. And
Oh.
like
That
I
plays off
forgot.
of your fears.
Yeah, he feeds off of your fears. So it's like
Oh.
the more you fear him, like the better you taste, your flesh
But,
tastes.
but
And
why
that's how
was
you
he
get
a
the
But
power.
clown?
Stephen King wrote it as a story about childhood traumas and how it carries over.
Oh. I
Why
knew
was
it.
he a clown though? Why was he a
That's what
clown?
I was just about to say, Orlando. Why did they make him a clown? Because
I mean, he was a lot of various things. He was a lot of various things.
Yeah.
But he could morph into a lot of things. But I
yeah,
think
that's true.
in order to prey on children, he started off as a clown. But he was whatever.
You feared basically. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up right quick.
Yeah,
But
interesting, right? It's actually like good writing. Holy shit! I mean,
I
it does
love that
exist,
movie.
but
I like
apparently
the old one
Marvel
and the
films.
new ones. I liked them all.
Wait,
They
did
were
you
all
like
good.
the TV series one?
They had a TV
That was
series of
pretty
it.
tight. I
Yeah, do
like
you
that.
remember that? It was like back in
That was like
Mm.
the
maybe
80s and shit.
93,
Really?
94.
Oh, I thought it
It
was
was like a
earlier
little
than that.
mini TV series.
Oh no, that was a good idea though.
Yeah, with John Ritter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was
dope.
yeah. My whole clown fear started because of it.
I mean, yeah, every time I think of a clown, that's the first thing I think about.
Yeah,
Them
I'm a
this
little
and
bit
this
better
shit.
about it now. A little bit better about it now, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Novocaine. I saw the new Hellraiser. It was
Oh
I
I
yeah.
liked it. I thought it wasn't that bad. You know, I wasn't like the biggest like Hellraiser fan. Like, I don't know if you guys know anything about Hellraiser. Like, don't ask me to explain it. Like, it's just a bunch of torture porn. But it really is. Like, I mean, if you like, body parts being ripped and flesh
Oh.
being peeled off and shit like that, you'll love that shit. But
Um,
yeah, like they rebooted the movie franchise, like I think the last Hellraiser maybe came out, I don't know, 2015, 2010, like the first three original Hellraiser movies, like they were like at the top of the list as far as like the most successful franchise movies, but then after that, the series just went downhill as far as like budget, like actors not wanting to be a part of it, like just bad scripts, and you know. But no, this reboot, it wasn't that bad. My roommate, who was like a huge fucking Hellraiser fan, and he's more of a horror fanatic than I am, he hated it, and I was like, oh shit, I was surprised.
I haven't seen the new. I haven't seen the new one.
I haven't seen anything Hellraiser related, so
yeah, me neither. I mean, I've heard about the movies.
Novocaine corrected me. The last one came out in 2018. Okay.
Hellraiser's that one with the things in his face?
Yeah, Pinhead. Yeah, they made this Pinhead. They made this Pinhead a female. I forgot the actress's name, but she did a great job. Like, he had some some very menacing lines and shit. Like all the actors in this one were really good. The characters that they were playing, they made a lot of dumb fucking decisions, but
they always do.
I mean, it's a horror movie, so it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. It's one thing that's like a cliche about horror movies. It's like, why is everyone fucking stupid? Like, I don't.
Are there any black folks, brown folks in it?
The main character, honestly, I don't know what the fuck she is.
Yeah, isn't that usually what black people ask? Was any black folks in the movie?
They had this one character. I forgot his name. Like, I'm not doing my best not to spoil anything. Like, he was the boyfriend of the main character's brother. I think
he dies.
Why do you want to know that? I'm not telling you. But he's like mixed. Like, I think he's like black or something else. I can tell you.
Not even authentic.
We know he died. He gay. He don't last long at all.
He died in the credits.
in the introduction, they black and gay.
Right. We didn't see black people in horror movies.
They don't even see color.
Nope, just who you fucking.
They're killing them.
Wait, you know what? They always have like that one token gay friend that always survives. Sometimes
he does.
Sometimes.
Now.
You know what?
Now
you know how Halloween ends comes out tomorrow, right? The new Halloween. The previous Halloween, it was trash. The previous Halloween movie.
Yes, it was.
But Michael Myers kills a gay couple in that movie.
Yeah,
but he killed everybody. He happens to kill a gay couple. And I remember people going off because, oh, Michael Myers is homophobic. You know, he's killing gays. But he was killing everybody. He was killing everybody. He didn't like just pick out the gay couple.
Damn.
Gay, but people got mad that he killed them for whatever reason.
It was how he killed them. He stabbed them together.
Did he? I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
I don't know what's next. It's like he also killed an old black woman in the kitchen. It's like all we need is like some feminists to be like, "Oh my God, he killed an old black lady. This is sexist, and this promotes slave-like mentality." She was supposedly the house Negro. It's like, come on, man.
They were an old interracial couple.
Oh yeah, he killed them. He didn't like that.
No.
Oh my God.
It was a white man and a black woman. He killed them both.
What's this Negro? Shit. I just gotta kill him. I gotta kill him.
He was like,
that shit go down.
He walked past them, and then he saw who they were.
Did she have on a bonnet? Did she have on a bonnet?
He's like, what the fuck is happening? Michael Myers is like, what the fuck is happening to my neighborhood? Like, you got gay people living in my house. old ass
Oh, I
interracial
got.
couple
He's like,
standing down the street.
I got to take care of this. I got to take care of this.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Y'all
that's
hell?
funny.
retarded. Y'all retarded.
I can see his ass right now. Yo, this bitch wearing a bonnet? Oh, nope. I gotta take care of that right now. Nope.
He
Fuck
Out
you.
in public?
he put on an even whiter mask. You couldn't get no whiter than Michael
This
Myers
mask
mask.
was whiter, wasn't it?
It's even
It was
whiter.
white.
He bleached that shit. Was like, come on now.
New face. Lord.
Oh, shit.
Oh my
It was
God.
white.
Yeah,
The mask was more cone shaped than usual.
Yeah.
Like a little point in the front.
Right.
Bro.
He combed it back so straight. I'll make this shit straight. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit. Yo, what's going on, Brittany?
Oh, hey, Brittany.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
my God. That was funny.
Fuck,
That was
man.
funny. I'm going to pull a clip from that one. On Halloween. That was funny, y'all. Okay, let's get into the topics for tonight, y'all. Our first topic is a political topic, something I just been seeing a lot of this being talked about on YouTube, a little bit here and there on like Reels on Facebook and Instagram, but basically inflation, we're all dealing with it. We're all suffering from it. It's hell. Apparently, this is the most that they're saying that this is the most of an increase in everything that we've had in a certain amount of time, which I don't really know if I find that believable to be true. But is inflation going to be the cause of a future recession coming in year 2023, or is inflation the cause of an economy shift? Did the pandemic have an influence on this economical shift change? And we're just going to have an open discussion with you guys and the audience. And I'm going to show a little bit of some YouTube clips on that. And then we got a couple of topics here underneath the sex topic we have tonight. I wanted to talk about this because I saw this clip from Angela Yee Lip Service. Shout out to Angela Yee, where she had dancehall artist Spice on her show. And of course, you know, they talk about a lot of relationships. They talk about a lot of sex. They talk about a lot of like things on that show, female topics and things like that. And something that came to my attention that I thought was interesting was how Spice was talking about, they were all talking about masturbation. And Spice made a statement saying that as she got older, she no longer participates in masturbating because she believes that it brings about basically sexual impurities, or i.e. sex demons or dark entities. She says that it can also cause issues in your relationship. So I wanted to show that clip and talk a little bit more about that and kind of get inside you guys' head and thoughts and what you guys think about. We've kind of touched on the whole masturbation thing, but as far as what she was saying, now I know in Nigeria, they have a certain type of spiritual belief where they believe in certain type of dark entities that you can invite into your spirit, things like that open up certain portals. So that could be why she made that statement, but she did say that she did some research and she reads a lot of different books on certain things. So anyways, we'll show that clip and then we'll get you guys' thoughts and opinions on that. And then I also want to bring up a relationship topic, kind of sort of a relationship topic, but it was something that was that I actually found on Facebook. Kenyatta, what was the guy's name? Tony, what was his name? Gaskins?
Yes, Tony Gaskins.
Yeah, Tony Gaskins. I think he has a podcast show, right?
Correct. I mean, he has his own podcast show, but it was on the here, give me just a moment here. It was on the table with Anthony O'Neill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so
and Tony Gaskins who's like a motivational speaker as well as economist. He was speaking on a particular subject that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, he had a really interesting topic that I thought would be really cool to tap into. He basically posed the question, are single men basically being bamboozled by other single men relationship gurus on what it means to or even know how to be in a relationship with a woman? Is the blind leading the blind? And the reason why I'm gonna leave it at that is because I'm gonna show the clip so you can hear it from his mouth on what he meant, and then we can take it from there. And then Michael has also got a topic for us tonight that's going to kind of correlate with our political topic that he's going to introduce and break down to us tonight that I thought was really interesting, that he kind of made me aware of. I was cracking up. Okay, and then we also have a part 2 to the relationship topics, which will probably conclude our show for tonight, is why some couples suffer from the "we don't have sex anymore" syndrome. Basically, couples who in the beginning have frequent sex and then it changes through the longevity of the relationship due to lack of communication, emotional and mental connection. Sex doesn't create love, it expresses love, and does the statement stand to be true? So there's a clip that I'm also going to show from this podcast show called Real Relationships, like REAL is bold, and then it's relationships podcast. And I'm going to show a clip from that. I thought that was really interesting what they talked about and what they meant behind that statement. So we'll go ahead and dive right in with our political topic. I just want to go ahead and open up with the YouTube video. Is inflation going to be the cause of a future recession coming in year 2023? Just to reiterate. Or is inflation the cause of an economy shift? And did the pandemic have an influence on this economical shift change? So I'm going to go ahead and open this up.
It's the end of America. I've been saying to people, silver is still 50% its all-time high.
Okay, so this is courtesy of Free Investing channel on YouTube. The guy that's speaking is the guy from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I do not remember his name, but he did the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
And he talks about his big, tough entertainers, and Trump was a tough man, but he says, watch what weak men will do. And this guy is the worst I have ever met. It's denial. And today what's happening is Russia and China are ganging up with the U.S. It's really a dangerous world right now. It's getting worse. I was a bit optimistic, but now we have the weakest, most corrupt government. You know, what happened to Hunter Biden's laptop? If the FBI loses his laptop, there's something really sick inside the country. And so that's kind of what I gave to all my macroeconomics owners. Where is Hunter Biden's laptop? I mean, how can the FBI lose it? We have no financial education in our schools.
Nope.
That's what I'm concerned about. My biggest concern with Russia and China are ganging up on us. As we all know, America produces nothing anymore.
Nope.
We produce bubbles, you know, blow air bubbles. So we now have this bubble in real estate and stocks and bonds. When Biden took the Keystone pipeline, XL pipeline off, just wiped us out here. Inflation goes up, and the average American doesn't have $1,000. 40% of Americans don't have $1,000
in your savings.
And so when inflation goes up, we're going to wipe out 50% of the U.S. population, and that the revolution starts. If and when, and it will come down to the stock market crashes, the 401k, the old guys like me are toast. You know, we don't have a retirement. Our pensions are bust. So what we have in three things is our treasury is out of control. We lost it. Our entitlements are out of control. And now we're at war with the Defense Department. So our GDP is out. So every time.
GDP, if you guys don't know what GDP is like growth and production, like basically things that you grow and produce, which, you know, America gets a lot of stuff imported. There's not too many things that we grow and produce and manufacture ourselves or that we outsource to other countries. So not too much longer because it's a long video. I just want to get the gist of it. And I can give you guys the information if you want to watch the whole thing.
I don't have any stocks. You know, I don't invest in the stock market, but they're my companies on the stock market. So the best deals are always done early. So when people say, do you invest in Bitcoin? Yes, but it was $6,000. We've got to be real today. And that's what I'm saying. There's a weak leadership in world history. America's in trouble. So I want to find out what's real. And China and Russia are now ganging up on us. Venezuela and Iran buy oil from them. And Biden cuts off oil supply. Everybody talks about intrinsic value. What is intrinsic value? That's value. And if you're starving, I'd rather have a can of tuna. I like to make fun of things because otherwise people can't hear you. They get too serious. So I'm just saying that we're in serious trouble. And it's getting worse. That's what terrifies me. If they come to the government crypto, government Bitcoin, or whatever they call it, it's Big Brother at that point. They're going to be knowing everything you do. For years, I've been buying those green canisters of silver coins because I can't trade. I can use it for money. I can go anywhere in the world with a silver coin and spend. I can go with a gold coin and spend it without being traced. Not that I'm hiding it. I'm just sick and tired of this government. I don't trust it. As I said, Hunter Biden's laptop disappeared in FBI custody. We have a serious internal problem. And so that's why I got a tongue tweeted that I'd rather have a can of tuna right now than a silver coin, just to get ridiculous, because I can eat tuna. I cannot eat that silver coin. I can spend it. Always remember, America has stopped producing products. We produce bubbles. And the good thing about a bubble is when it bursts, everything goes on sale. And so in 2008, I waited until 2010. I borrowed $300 million because debt is money, as you know, after 71. And I began buying real estate at market prices. So just recently, the repo market inverted again, which means we're going down, means recession's ahead. But my concern is now revolution. Because
after this part,
we're going to have rioting. But different type of bubble burst. When Biden took us off the pipeline, oil prices went up. Oil produces fertilizer. And when fertilizer is no longer cheap, people can't. And American has nothing. 40% of Americans have nothing. Inflation is going to make them very upset. A stock market crash will bring down the baby boomers. So we're in serious trouble here. So I'm just being ridiculous in my tweets because it's better than listening to that. I'd rather have a can of tuna right now. That's what I'm saying, is that at least I can eat it. I'm a U.S. Marine. You know, I fought the.
oh yeah, he goes into a whole bunch of stuff. I just really wanted you guys to get the gist of the inflation. But if you guys want to check that video out, it is off of Free in FREE investing on YouTube, and it's called America's Getting Wiped Out. This is what's coming, and his name is Robert Kiyosaki. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But so what you guys what?
No, I'm sorry. It's,
Freddie W. 1, 2, Freddie's coming for it. Well, Kenyatta, it said America. Yeah, they try to scare your ass. That's what that music is, trying to scare.
Oh shit. That's funny.
You know, that's why they put the music in there and have people like, oh shit. Right. If that music had what's that song by Pharrell? Because I'm happy, that would have a whole different persona on that video.
Right. 1, 2.
Brittany said that shit was hella creepy.
Oh,
shit.
That's what I guess that was kind of the point. But what do you guys think as far as some of the statements that he was making? Do you think that there's any truth to some of the stuff? Now, Robert, I think his name is pronounced Kiyosaki. He was the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was a huge success for him. Just like teaching the difference between like certain mentalities of how to maintain and gain your finances and invest and things like that. But as far as what he was saying about like the oil and how Biden cut us from the pipelines and the whole thing about how fertilizer is becoming more expensive, and that's why a lot of people are not really being able to grow crops, and how there's a possible food shortage because of the soil and all of these things. Do you think that the pandemic kind of led us into this economical shift. Mind you, we've always, like every certain amount of years, there's always been like a recession or a setback. So it's not like this is the first time, if a recession does happen, that it's happened because of economical changes or economical shifts or economical drops. And I don't know if you guys like just pay attention with, like, I guess people working just a regular average 9 to 5. It seems like a lot of people aren't even trying to work regular jobs anymore. They're either trying to work like trading on the internet, or a lot of people, when the pandemic happened, they lost their jobs. And then, you know, the government was giving out all that money. So they had to make ends meet. And I think a lot of people just like got into that mentality of wanting to work for themselves, which also changed in an economical shift way where now you're not working for somebody else. You're starting to build and work for yourself. Now these companies are upping up their offers to get people to come in and work. I mean, what do you guys think about everything that's changing? Do you think it's just a normal thing that kind of reoccurs every certain amount of years,
No,
especially in the U.S.?
I do agree that like the pandemic had something to do with that, as far as like people not wanting to like go back to a regular 8 to 5 job, especially after having like those government or like
Stimulus
pandemic,
check, baby.
pandemic proof check, because it's like, you want me to come back to work and work an 8 to 5 job, which is like what annual, like yearly, let's just say $35,000, $40,000 a year. But like with, if we would have like with those government checks alone, and like out here in California, we had like a extra $600 pandemic, you know, like plus for us. It's like if we would have kept making that, you know, I could have made what, $60,000, maybe $70,000, you know, the entire year.
Right.
So it's kind of like, you know, a lot of people, what they decide to do is like started either creating their own business,
right,
you know, or using the money that they got and started investing into, you know, things like podcasting,
right,
like businesses outside of working a 9 to 5 job, and they don't want to go back to like public service jobs, like, you know, working at McDonald's or being a server or like being a delivery driver, because it's like, I can't make fucking ends meet. So like, why would I go back to this shit? You know, I'm practically like homeless, living off of like $40,000 a year, especially depending on what city you live in. So realistically, why would anyone want to go back to that shit? So, you know, and because of that, you know, like a lot of restaurants are closed down because they don't have like the physical help that they need.
There's an Applebee's down the street from my neighborhood that have been around for a minute. They closed down because literally there was never enough people working. There was like a pho restaurant that I go to all the time. The food is so good. One night they had to close, a few nights out of the week, they had to close early. And I was asking, like, you know, why are you guys like, what's going on? And they kept saying it's because they were short-staffed. So I'm just like, yo, what in the world is going on? Like, where are all the workers going? Like, what's going on? So I wonder if that's okay. So there's like a conspiracy where they've been saying that like inflation is being brought up so that people can go back to work, because if the people don't work, it doesn't generate a healthy economy. And if they raise the cost of living and the cost of I know y'all been seeing these utility numbers. I know y'all been seeing it.
For real.
I know it.
I've been paying it.
Oh, okay. I be like, no, I need a payment plan. I don't got that. Like, y'all tripping.
It's ridiculous. Y'all tripping.
It's tripping.
Like, I don't see how like mathematically, I don't see how the fuck that's gonna work. Like, so you decide to raise the prices as far as like, you know, utilities and rent and whatnot, but you still decide to keep like minimum wage, you know, at the bare minimum. You know, that doesn't go up at all. But
like some people raised it to like 15. I know like Burger King and McDonald's raised it. It makes it look like it's something, but 15, and then with everything going up, it's still not you're
Oh yeah,
still going to have a little piece of a part-time or some type of extra income coming in.
yeah. Because I tell you right now, $15, $16 out here in California, they ain't shit.
Oh, I already know.
That's not
I already
gonna
know.
do
It ain't
nothing
shit
for
in
you.
Virginia. Shit, niggas is still got to work a piece of a job or have a roommate and all that other shit.
Yeah, you have to have like either an extra job. You either have to, then you have to have like either sugar daddy or sugar mama. Then you
Okay?
probably have to like
OnlyFans.
then you have to like hold yourself on OnlyFans. You know, like not a lot of guys are able to like succeed with that, but like women do. And you probably have to try to have a YouTube channel. So it's kind of like,
That's what a lot
you
of
know,
people are
it's like,
doing.
you know, like the
They,
shit that they're asking out of people, like this is virtually impossible for me to work around, man. So it's
I
like at
think
some point, people are gonna like start rebelling. They're gonna start rebelling. They're
that's what
gonna
he was
start
just
robbing
saying.
motherfuckers.
That's
They're
what
gonna
he was
start
just
rioting.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
And
At some point, like you know, like something's bad gonna happen. Something
right.
bad is gonna
People are gonna
happen.
just start snapping like they're gonna get,
Yeah.
and then especially if this whole food shortage thing. I wanted to talk about that, but I didn't want to do it
Already
on tonight's
there.
show. Huh?
We already
Right.
there.
I wanted to talk to y'all about that. What's her name? Shahrazad Z Ali, some lady. But she was talking about that, and she was saying how black people are the main race that love to eat, but don't know how to grow shit. And she was talking about how people are going to have to start learning how to grow their own plants and things like that. But the soil and the fertilizer and everything is becoming contaminated, and then the fertilizer prices is going up, and she was just breaking everything down. But I want, before you tap in, Kenyatta, I was gonna say, do you guys think that maybe the reason why they're doing that is to instill fear in people? Like, oh my God, prices are going up. Let me go out here and get a job anyway. Even though I got this business, but it ain't really maybe booming the way I wanted to be booming. Let me go out here and get a job really quick. Maybe they think it'll instill some type of urgency in the masses of people if things keep going up. That's just a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of that could be very theoretical. I mean, we're talking
The
conspiracy
government.
theories, right? So we're talking
The
about
government has a lot of
very
conspiracies.
possible, but
Right.
we can't say for sure. You know what I mean? Like it's our economy is going
Well,
to.
do you guys really quick tap in? Do you think it has anything to do with the oil pipeline that Biden supposedly, allegedly disconnected us from? And this whole Russia and China working together thing.
I mean, shit, possibly, man. I mean, like gas prices out here are like damn near $7, $8 now, and
Yeah, I think it.
I mean,
I think that's a result of it. As you know, I think it is. We have to get oil from outside of the country now, and that's harder to get into, and it's more expensive, especially
Well, that would make a
what's
reason.
happening
That
with
would make
oil.
sense of why things are going up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty like you can see it's evident that stuff
Right.
that's cut off. It's really causing a lot of like
It's
prices
like
to
a
go up.
back effect on us.
yeah,
Right.
and this was also a reason why, like, a lot of people, when it comes to the war that's going on between, like, Russia and Jesus
Ukraine.
Christ, I forget, Ukraine.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like, you know, Biden and the government are like just giving out like what 50
Yeah.
million, 45
Oh my
million
God.
dollars, and then like to
Yes.
support that war. But it's kind of like, hey, yo, hey, back here in America, that money should be
we,
going to us, helping us
right.
out. Like, what are you doing,
What are
man? It's
you
like, fuck,
doing?
we need help too. Like, stop trying to help other fucking people and like
Right.
help your own goddamn country, man. Like, what are you doing?
You guys really should watch the rest of that because he goes into how America's been a communist country since before a certain time and presidencies and how they our government doesn't really care about their people, and it was very like eye-opening to me. Even some things that I kind of maybe thought, he kind of broke it down. What Kenyatta, what?
Why is that eye-opening to you?
I mean, no, I mean the fact that
When has America ever been for for its people.
Never. It just sounds so bad because it's like, why are we here? Like, what are we doing here in the United States? Like, what are we? What like, why don't we just leave and go to somewhere else, like Africa or something like that? Why don't we just go back there?
But some of those
They
other
don't have no choice.
Yeah, some of us don't have a choice. You got some move to Africa money?
I know, right? I wish.
Yeah, hey, one of my homeboys, he's a good friend of mine. Like, he's originally from South Africa, and like he's trying to go back home for the holidays, and like ticket prices right now is like over $2,000.
Whoa, Jesus.
So if you're going, you might as well move.
Might as well. Dang. What did you want to say on that too, Kenyatta? I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask a couple more questions before.
Well, I was gonna say on which question, because
just the whole everything, the inflation, the your face.
That's a very general question.
America works perfectly for those it was intended to work for initially. You got it, boo.
No, I'm thinking
That's be like Brittany.
In terms of the recession, like we've had recessions before,
right?
And we've always come back from them without a whole lot of heartache and a whole lot of exhaustion of America's pockets. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've done it before, but so it's not to say that we can't necessarily do it again. Inflation, I mean, it's gonna keep going up until.
Do you think it has anything to do with the oil, though? If we have to get oil,
possibly
all of it.
Yeah, I mean, like it has got to do with everything.
Right.
Everything. Whenever we hear something that happens to of these like big lump sums of money going to other countries or any of that nature. When we watch the gas prices rise, when 25-cent bags of chips are now 69-cent bags of chips,
right?
And like all of those things, we watch it happen before our very eyes, and we adjust because gotta eat.
I mean, right? Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, gotta continuously do. Like I work 2 jobs. I work in the daytime and I work in the nighttime. I go to work sometimes at 7:30 and I don't get off sometimes until 11 p.m. So I'm working hard trying to pay these bills and trying to stay afloat and trying to have some semblance of life to a point where everybody is doing that. And
right.
It's going to get to a point where people are getting incredibly frustrated. It's at that point right now in terms of crime. We see a lot of people robbing and shooting, and
breaking into people.
It's going to get worse the more things
increase.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The more things increase and surplus, all of those things. Like it's frustrating. It's yeah.
What do you guys think about?
I tell you one thing, boy. Like the porn industry is going up. There's so many motherfuckers on OnlyFans, and camera girls, camera dudes showing off their ass, titties,
you gonna see a lot of that.
Dick.
The reason
you gonna see a lot of that. That's gonna go stupid.
One of the top OnlyFans members, or what do you call it? Content creators is making like $20,000 a day.
Yeah.
Bitch, give me that money.
So like when you making that much money, yeah, you're gonna show a tit here or there. Yeah, you know
or a
from
foot.
your house, from your home.
He said, yeah, you gonna show a tit here from your house, from your home. You can get real creative. You can get real.
I mean, there are so the porn industry. The porn industry in general, just like there are people out there who are willing to pay for just the smallest thing a lot of the time. Like
right.
Man, they got They gotta beat that depression out. Shit.
Hey,
Worn,
hey, y'all,
worn
the Wave
underwear and
TV is in the
pictures
chat,
of
y'all. They said I filled out a porn app last night.
That's great.
no.
Let's see it.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
I think, you know, when we were in quarantine, it removed all of those inhibitions to be able to make that money or make extra money on top of what we were already getting. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people weren't necessarily, the judgment was starting to become a little bit on the lesser side towards sex workers.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
You know what I mean? So people could be able to make their money and
I
from
mean,
the comfort of their homes. I mean, you made it to a point where we were quarantined where we couldn't necessarily do anything. I ain't talking about myself. But I'm saying like people, I'm just talking about people in general. I'm a person, okay? Stop it. But it's like people at home are without jobs, being able to leave their own homes in the safety and the comfort of their own homes, and not everybody was eligible to receive a government check. You know,
exactly. That's true. That's 100. Because I know a few.
so they worked out and tried to use what they got. You know what I mean?
I did get what they want.
For themselves. You know what I mean? She worked hard for the money.
Okay, so hard for the money.
So
Hey, okay, real quick before we move on, why do you guys think, you know how he mentioned in that video that they don't teach about finances in school? Why do you guys think that that's not part of the curriculum in the education system?
They do.
No.
They do. They just don't do it right.
Oh, not enough.
They don't teach. Not enough.
Economics.
More things are more important, like teaching kids how to masturbate and worry about fucking pronouns and shit like that. That's more important than like learning about like finances and like preparing for if a recession happens and shit like that.
But even just teaching them about like debt and even just a little bit maybe about once they get into a age where they can comprehend these things. Even just savings, budgeting your money. I mean, they don't go into depths is what I mean, and I wonder why. Is there a reason? Do they want you to stay with this mentality of only never becoming above and beyond just a working class citizen?
Yeah, I mean that's how the system is set up.
And they have business programs for all of those situations. It's just a lot of the time it's not required. It's up to the child to be able to take that curriculum on. A lot of people aren't necessarily forcing it upon them. It's not a full-on requirement. Certain things in terms of math or
it should be
English or things of that nature to be able to thrive. I do agree it would help for that to be instilled in a lot of the children coming up, just so that they are able to navigate certain things like this.
And the Wave TV just made a great point too. Like you got to pay for that knowledge. You have to pay for that education, and like some people are not able to pay for that. So it's just the classic story of like keeping the rich rich, the poor, the middle class. You know, hey, good luck to you.
Right, exactly. That's what I was getting at. All right, guys, that was great. You guys talked in really well on that topic. So we're gonna move forward. Okay. So we're gonna get into Michael, do you want to get into your topic?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Since it kind of goes along with the whole political conversation.
Yeah. All right. So not too long ago, maybe like a couple of days ago, I came across this video that was made by the BLK. BLK is a black dating service app that's been out for like a couple of years. And they came out with this. Well, they actually, like before that, they came out with 2 campaign videos. Let me just show you the video.
Yeah, just show them the video.
And let me just set this up real fast. And The video's not long. It's only about like maybe like a minute and 50 seconds. And yeah, I just kind of want you guys' opinion on this. And this is a very fucking interesting.
All right, let's see it.
Let me just show you the video.
Yeah, just show them the video.
And let me just set this up real fast. And the video's not long. It's only about like maybe like a minute and 50 seconds. And yeah, I just kind of want you guys' opinion on this. And this is a very fucking interesting.
All right, let's see it. You can let me show it. It's playing back. It's playing back.
Hold up.
It's your. We hear you, and then. Hold on. You want me to play it?
Oh no, yeah, I gotta turn off the
live.
Yeah, hold on. Let me cut the volume off on the live real fast. My bad, y'all.
You're good.
All right, let me cut that off. And yeah, let me reintroduce the video again.
All right, let's start from the beginning.
My bad. I thought this had to set up properly. Here we go.
BLAK is an app for like hooking up for black people. Amanda.
Looking for some action. It is a 9, abs a 10, D is a to be determined. Got match, oh, he don't be broke. The only red flag that he don't fold. It's turns for all the niggas. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No voting, no love. No voting, no touch. No voting, no love. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking, no voting, no love. No voting, no touch. No voting, no love. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. Still stop now. Fuck all about the king, but my homegirl through. Put the fight Protestant. Hollywood takes me so nasty. Make me wanna flirt, just show you how to be a bold worker, huh? Legs in the air, I don't care. Anyone can get the universal health care.
Yeah. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, I keep saying there was some hey. Y'all are silly in the chat. No. Tell him, girl. Tell Michael, girl. No voting, no bucking. Somebody said this lit.
Yeah.
I cannot with y'all. I don't keep saying about some hey.
Yes. Yeah, so this video came out not too long ago. I think earlier last year or like 2 years prior. They also came out with a video with the, y'all remember the song like Back That Thing Up by Juvenile?
Yes, we remember the commercial as well.
Yeah, so this same app, Black BLK app, you know, the Black dating app, they also came out with a song, Vax That Thing Up, which is back that thing up. And this also reminded me of this video that came out the year that I think it was Hillary and Trump. They were going against each other, and like they came out with a video with dancers or strippers encouraging you to vote. I don't know if y'all remember that. Like I'd show that video, but like that's just another waste of fucking time. So my issue with this is that I see videos like this that's just, you know, perpetuated throughout the black community, and this just makes me think that they think black people are fucking stupid. It's like in order to get to black people or the black community, get their votes, like let's sexualize our black women, and let's use sex in order to like gravitate to like the younger audience or like the black community in order for them to get out and vote, instead of, I don't know, like coming out with like a rap video going over like the policies of like certain candidates that you want to vote for, talking about the real issues of why
I agree
you
with
should
that.
vote for me, and these are my policies that I'm presenting to you in order to like better our community. But
Right.
instead of that, they want to use sex. They want to use certain
Rap
like agendas,
songs.
rap songs, certain agendas in order to get people to vote. And like for me, like this is just fucking it's buffoonery. Like it's just, this is some sad shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, why is it like and listen, I'll even go to the comments. Like people are in the comments section, like you guys already said, like how some people are reacting to this. And mind you, this has 600,000 views, over 600,000 views, and it has like 1.3 thousand likes. So it's like what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this beneficial for us, or is like,
How many
does this
dislikes?
make us look like fucking clowns?
How many dislikes? Hold on, sorry. How many dislikes? Does it say that?
You can't say it.
The dislike
It don't
is
show it.
They don't show them anymore.
yeah, it's been discontinued for like a couple of years now. So I'm just going off of like how many views this has and how many likes it has.
Well, just to chime in on someone's comment, King Shaddy said, I think they're just trying to reach all the black people because, let's be honest, we don't vote. So that's how they feel is the best way to grab us, because we'll listen to a rap song quicker than we'll go vote.
I think it's in terms of trying to consolidate the black fan base, right? So like we have those who are a little bit more conservative, who are looking for those politicians to be able to take all of those ins and outs of voting and knowing all of those intricacies, right? So like knowing all of those very fine details about voting and how it helps the community. That has not helped, right? So in terms of using Saucy Santana's and Trina's fan base, like how they do ever so often, because essentially a lot of the time that particular fan base, that demographic are the ones that don't care about voting.
Right.
You know, so when you look at these particular figures, these rap figures who they're not always vocal about politics in any way. They're always talking about other things, the things that they rap about, right? So like now them being vocal about it, and the people who actually listen to their music go, oh well, you know, Saucy Santana is voting, voting. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing as like when I first saw it, it was P. Diddy and his Vote or Die campaign.
Oh yeah, we remember that.
Where it was like no bitch assness, you know what I mean? Like you
no bitch assness.
No bitch assness, right? Like he had a whole shirt, a whole campaign, certain things like that, where they made voting cool, you know what I mean, to his fan base in that particular respect. I think that that's what they're trying to do this time around, is trying to make voting cool as opposed to something that you have to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
the approach is trying to be altered to get to kind of.
So okay, all right. So you guys think that this approach. So you guys think that this approach, as far as using sex and women exploiting themselves, and like, oh, the only way for you to get guys to vote is to deny them of sex and yada yada yada. Like, this is a good method as far as like getting voters out, instead of like talking about like actual policies that could like make differences.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna say something. Oh, go ahead, Kim. I'll say something after you.
Okay, I don't think it's necessarily like I think that that's the joke behind it, right? Like, no, I think that that is just the saying, no voting, no fucking, right? Like all of those things. I don't think they actually mean that if you're not gonna vote, you can't hit this. You know what I mean? But
That's what they're saying, though. This is the message that they're putting out there.
I think to a certain degree, it's like if you don't necessarily care about our
Yup, you're right, King Daddy.
Our politics and our system, you know what I mean? It's like I think that that's where they're trying to put it, is that how serious are you about this and blah blah whatever. But I think that they're just trying to. You said that they're sexualizing women, but there are already some women out there who are sexualized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's trying to reach
by their own voice.
It's trying to reach like that demographic in general. You know what I mean? Like everybody somewhere, as far as music artists. A lot of music artists say go out there and vote. You know what I mean? Like, but rarely do you hear about the trap artists,
right?
The twerk artists even talking about it. You know what I mean?
Right. That's true.
So why not do that? Why not do that? So why not do that? Why don't we have like local artists, global artists, like I don't even know how popular Trina is anymore. Like Saucy, say I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Like, why not get them to actually talk about the actual I mean, for Christ's sakes, we had Cardi B sit down with Joe Biden one time, even though that was like kind of embarrassing too. But it's like I felt like that was a little bit more effective than shit like this. It's kind of like, what is wrong with like actually like paying attention, going over policies? Again, like why is it so hard to like have artists actually like communicate with their followers, going over policies that can actually affect their livelihood, their future, their children's, instead of like making bullshit like this? And it's even further to the point like of what King Charlie just said, like the only reason why people went out and vote is because of Obama. So we just went out and voted because like a guy was black. Like, y'all don't see the problem with that?
Yup. That's the
problem
truth.
to you?
No, I mean
that's just, to me, that's
I mean, it is a problem.
It's kind of like we have to dumb ourselves down to this fucking degree in order to get people to go out and vote. Like this, like, I'm sorry, as a black person, this is fucking embarrassing to me. And then you have like other political parties out there looking at this shit and reviewing it, and we're a fucking laughing stock to them. And it's like it's hard for me to disagree.
That
like this shit's
particular
embarrassing.
demographic could care less about being laughed at.
But let's not enable the shit by like giving them more of a fucking comedy show.
They don't. They already think that they're a comedy show, considering that they already think that people don't care about them simply because they're black. So hood mentality,
but this proves it though.
Is, I mean, we can't judge the hood mentality because we're not living in the hood. You know what I mean? They have their own thing going on. You know what I mean? And so like, if this is what brings them in to vote, at least they're voting. You know?
That's how they look. That's how they are looking at it.
But do you even know what you're voting for? Like, you know, if someone sees this shit like, oh shit, big booty ass Trina, like, oh shit, saucy, whatever, like, I'm a fan of that, I'm just gonna go out and vote. I don't even know what the fuck I'm voting for. I'm just gonna do it. It's like, every time, I don't see how is that helping?
I've seen a couple of interviews that Saucy Santana has done. I haven't necessarily seen anything political, and not to say that he hasn't or Trina hasn't, you know what I mean, that they haven't spoken out about it or that they haven't tweeted or any of those things. But every time that I've seen him actually speak or be in an interview, he said some incredibly poignant, hit like a lot of great points, whether it be about like relationships or delving a little bit further into his music or things of that nature. So he's very smart.
Well, I mean,
it may not necessarily be depicted here, but what they're trying to do is the tactic is to be catchy. The tactic is to, again, gain followers that they wouldn't necessarily hit. A lot of the time, if we start talking about policies and things of that nature, you lose people.
Right. I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say to some people, it becomes a bore.
It goes over their head.
Right. In our world, in the U.S., we're full of entertainment. We like to be entertained.
This in particular is meeting some people.
I'm just saying the truth.
I'm just saying the truth too. This in particular is meeting some people where they're at. We're saying, like, yes, constantly educate yourselves and figure out about these candidates and politics and things of that nature, but a lot of people don't necessarily do that.
No, a ton of people don't do that.
A lot of people don't do that, whether they vote or not. You know what I mean? So
they go off of the majority, the popularity, the popular candidate. It's never, no one really goes in.
And then on top of that, you have to think about younger aged minds who aren't at the age to vote just yet. You know what I mean? But they're looking at it because they're already listening to Saucy Santana, whether it's sexualized or not. They're already looking at influence, whether it's sexualized or not, and they're looking at it. It's starting the cycle of looking at voting as cool.
Right.
As opposed to it just being
programming
like this thing that adults do that we don't understand.
It's programming them too.
So
this is the programming that we need in order to vote. Okay, I got you.
No, it's not good.
Mike, and
it's upsetting. It's really upsetting.
Going to look at voting and politics as this incredibly serious thing.
Important thing. Exactly.
Not everybody is going to look at it that same way.
Exactly.
There are people out there it's very serious, and it changes the way that we look at our country and things of that nature for sure. But in terms of the hood, a lot of people ain't looking at it like if I vote, it's going to change things. You know what I mean? And so in this particular respect, to make it cool and a thing that you do as you become an adult is a little bit more at the base, and then you start to build off of knowing a little bit more
about the candidate,
about voting and intricacies and things of that nature. But right now, that to me looks like they're trying to meet people where they are, as opposed to CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of that, like, to a point where it's like all of these words just jumble.
Right. You know, like we see that.
Class.
Right, like we see that and we would be like, okay, like, come on, okay, we get the little entertainment. But we wouldn't take, we wouldn't, hold on, wait.
Beyond that.
We wouldn't take that serious. We already know better. But to the ones that's coming up, that's this whole world is just changing. Everything is just perception based and visual. So as soon as you can get somebody to groove to something, and then it has a catchy hook. It's catchy. It's repetitive.
Right.
When the voting come around, that's going to be something that's catchy and repetitive to everybody, and then that just draws the kids in, like you said, to voting.
That's kind of like a little upsetting. Not upsetting, but also scary because they need this entertainment to edify. Like, they don't have people in their lives influencing them. I mean, I'm talking about people in the hood. Like, is it always going to be like that? Like,
that's why, remember when we talked about that one guy that said that black people in America don't know where they really come from. They identify their culture with hip hop.
Okay, I remember, but yeah.
There's this guy, he's, I don't know, an entertainer or something from the UK, but he's black. And he's black and British, and he was just talking about how people from over in the Black Brits over in the UK and stuff know like what tribes and different things, the ancestries that they know about where they come from, and how black people in the US, we don't know where we really come from. We rep our neighborhoods and we rep our community gains when that has nothing to do with where we're actually organically, dynamically from. And then he also said that we identify ourselves with hip hop culture.
That's because
that's
some neighborhoods
disconcerting.
don't necessarily move, or like we were talking about this not too long ago, Christina. Some neighborhoods don't necessarily move beyond their neighborhood.
Right.
So, like when you are creating this world around within yourself, and you don't necessarily culturally educate yourself beyond that, it becomes about the world that you're in. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot
Hey,
of neighborhoods,
Danielle.
and a lot of neighborhoods, or a lot of people are content with where they are, as opposed to
Talk about it.
going other places and
Talk about
understanding
it.
other
The
cultures, and starting
cultures,
to branch out and be a little bit more tolerable. Not
especially
tolerable,
black
but
folk.
like to show compassion to other cultures and other people and things of that nature. You start to educate yourself beyond
Right.
where you grew
Your
up.
little bubble.
Yeah,
Right.
that little bubble that you're in. And a lot of people, a lot
I'm
of
sorry,
people
somebody.
with that hood mentality a lot of the time don't necessarily think that they need anything beyond the bubble that they were born in, and they don't move beyond that just because
Exactly.
what they have created, or what they were born in, or what they were raised in a lot of the time is enough for them, you
The
know what I
comfort
mean?
zone.
And
Or
honestly, I
when they
think that's
start to go
exactly
beyond
why
that,
black people are going to, and that's exactly why black people are going to stay in the situation that
not all
they
black
are right
people, I don't
now.
want
Not
you to
all. Not
generalize
But
that.
all.
I
but
don't
but
want you to
not, yeah, not all,
generalize
but
that.
majority.
I don't want you to generalize it to that
But
degree.
you guys are pretty much just saying that. You guys
No,
were
I
Well,
saying
said
that the entire
some.
time,
I
man.
said some
not
people.
not
Some
all black
people.
people, but
I
Yeah,
said
but
some
a good
I know you guys didn't say all, but like majority
a
though.
good cluster. Look, King Shadi said right. Some people say DMX, Tupac, Biggie, and Wu Tang, etc. raised them. Exactly. That's what we're
But
saying.
Wu Tang is a very like, they're not political, but they're not like your like dumbing down rap either. You know what I'm
Now I
saying?
was
Like
gonna say like
Nas, right? Wu
Wu
Tang, you know,
Tang,
they're trying to
who
feed and trying to edify you a little bit. You know, so if
right.
they're saying that Wu Tang and whatever, even DMX to some extent, they're saying they raised me. They should know better. I feel in
To
some
be
respect.
honest, in some of their messages, and I wonder too, why don't they ever use like if they want to use entertainers and celebrities to appeal to us, why don't they ever use the ones that actually do talk about messages in
Yeah.
their music, like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar or any of those kind of people to act out? I would love to see Kendrick Lamar doing a Vogue commercial. That shit, he'll probably say some really cool shit.
Yeah.
He don't got to rap. He don't got to come out with fire behind him and shit. It don't got to be a music video.
because those people are already voting.
You're right. You're right, Kenyatta. What was I
If
thinking?
they're thinking that cerebral in terms of like that particular rap artist, they're already thinking about changing the world anyway. You know what I mean? We're trying to
Right.
get the people who are not thinking about that, who are just thinking about twerking and going out and
I got
bullshitting.
you. I
You know
got
what
you,
I mean?
Kenyatta.
So
That's why they did that type of a video, because it's going to appeal to those types of people that like to twerk, that like
that are
Saucy
not.
Santana, that like Trina, that would never step inside of a voting poll booth ever. But now that I'm seeing, right.
Because
Another thing is sorry, real quick. Another thing is Trina real? Is Trina and this guy? I never heard this guy before. But do they really believe in what they're saying? You know, is it like just, oh yeah, are they getting paid for this, or do they really like want people
They're
to
getting
vote?
paid.
That's another thing too, because I feel like you should know better. I mean, look at the video. Come on, you really want to send this message out for people to vote? Like, you can do better than that at least.
But
You know,
people do a lot for the check.
yeah.
Not all money's good money though, and this
That's
shit is just
true. That's
not.
true. But when you gotta eat, you
Everything
might
that
show
shines
a
is always
butt
gonna be
cheek. You
gold.
feel me?
Yeah, so like, all right, so worry about
it's gonna
myself,
hurt.
not really. Yeah, so worry about me, myself, and I, and not really give a fuck about like try to like better my community, better my people, but put on a front, put on a show, and pretend like I actually give a fuck, even though I really don't give a fuck.
I mean, it's fucked up.
But people,
But
but there
Yeah,
are
I'm
people
saying we
who are
shouldn't
not
accept
touching
this
that
shit though, man. It's
Yeah,
like
oh, I can accept
that's the
it. I
thing.
just look the
They're
other way.
accepting
people
it.
are like
there are
this
people
is what
out
I'm
there who are
saying,
not
man. It's
touching that
like we're
demographic
purposely
though.
dumbing ourselves down in order
What?
to no, we're purposely dumbing ourselves down in order
I
to
don't think
better our
so.
community, and we're accepting it.
I don't think
I'm not
so. I
dumbing
think that they're
myself down.
right. I don't.
So
Think
I'm
so.
not talking about you guys. I'm just talking about like the black community, like in general.
It's not the whole black community because there are
Well,
people
who is
within.
this? Who is this going to?
Okay, listen. Let me finish. Okay, it's not
Same thing.
necessarily going to the people who, because there's black community that are listening to J. Cole. There are black people that are out there that are listening to Kendrick Lamar. There are black people that are out there listening to all of these rap artists that are incredibly cerebral who are already voting. But
right.
there are other people who are not necessarily listening to those artists, but they're focused in and they're
Oh, there's a
in. Saucy Santana is incredibly new, right?
right,
Trina, it has been around, right?
right.
And Saucy Santana being new in this TikTok era, just signed a new record deal, all these things, and there are a lot of people who follow Saucy Santana. Now, you may not necessarily know who he is, but
I know he is.
there are people who follow him and have been following him. So when they start to take a little bit of a move forward in terms of the political genre, then that gains a different fan base. You know what I mean? That gains a little bit more, not so much that they're trying to pull from outside of that fan base, but they're trying to, I don't want to say add a political agenda because that seems pre-calculated, but it's like they're trying to make it a necessity or make this important in this particular community just as well. There are people who just listen to that type of music, City Girls, Cardi B, Saucy Santana, Trina, like all of those like rap shit type
Ratchet rap.
ratchet rap, and it has never been depicted as something that is important before.
So
Now
like King
they're
Daddy,
starting
right?
to make it a little bit more important and meeting them where they're at. They're making it
Their level, kind of
catchy.
like.
They're meeting
Yeah,
it
dumbing
at their
down.
level. Huh?
Well,
Yeah, dumbing down.
to us it would seem as dumbing down, but to them it's relatable.
No,
So like
it's dumbing down. It's dumbing
well,
down.
so
But
King
It's
Shaddy said if
relatable.
they can. King Shaddy said if they can get people to go to those polls who never thought about going, then they accomplished something. That's how they see it. That's
Yes.
Yeah,
how
but
they see it.
Orlando just said, like, getting people to vote is not enough. Like,
yeah,
what are
I
you
think we're
voting
past that point
for?
of just getting them
Do you
to
even know
vote.
what you're voting for?
Oh,
But we're
I
not,
understand what you're saying
I
too.
think
Yeah.
we've known
but
enough
also like
already to be like, hey, we can't just be like wide-eyed at entertainment. We should be already at the next step. It
I
shouldn't be just
agree.
like we get at least let's get them to vote. No, we've already been there 20 years ago. Now we should
Right.
be like more aware of the issues and stuff like that. It's like
That's happening.
not
I
we've
for
been
agree.
in a standstill for like more than 20 years. I think like we should already
not for
taken
the
the next step
generation
already.
that's coming up. I think
I
that
agree with that too, though. They
not.
have to be like it's like they got to balance out different generations and different levels. I agree with what all of you are saying. Have a point, honestly.
I feel like generational, like okay, so
No,
generationally,
you're right,
we already
Charmaine.
have our people to look towards when it comes to voting, right? We already know those people. Like we talked about it. We talked about those people who have focused in and honed in and made it important that to vote. You know what I mean? Like the people that I named before when we talked about P. Diddy. There was like a whole campaign constantly with those people to be able to say vote.
Right, right. Vote or die. Vote or die. Vote or die. Vote or
I
die.
just think that this is the next not the next wave, because I don't think that it's going to be consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's going to be always stay dumbed down. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Hopefully
just think
not.
that there is a key demographic that have not made voting important at all. And it seems like this is the demographic in general that don't care about voting at all. So it's trying to reach those people. And the importance is, yes, that they do get to the polls, because they're not getting to the polls at all. We're losing that vote altogether. So it's either we not care about them voting, or we're trying to get them there to vote by any means necessary, almost.
Right. No, you're right. I agree with that. I mean, I think all of you guys have valid points. I don't think there's any right or wrong to this conversation. I think it could be very open because it's really generalized. Because we all know in the Black community, there's levels. So sometimes when you're desperate for votes and you're trying to get a certain class of people to still participate in voting, whether the president's Black or whether it even is going to help affect them or make their community better or not, they need those votes. So I think all of you guys had a point, but I mean,
honestly, I just think that, you know, if we have to rely on these two artists, P. Diddy saying "vote or die," Juvenile saying backs that thing up, strip for the polls, and, you know, dumb shit like that. If that's what it takes for people to come out and vote, instead of, like, you know, good parenting, a good education system, like teaching, like, the younger generation to learn the importance of voting and, like, the benefits that come with it, as far as, like, improving, like, your livelihood in your community, then as Black people, we're not doing our job, and I think it's sad.
I feel like if we have a government that is corrupt, and the foundation has been built on corruption since the beginning of whatever fucking founding fathers in that damn mountain, whatever, they got their faces cut out. Since the beginning of the United States, and they signed little goddamn John Hancock shit on the papers and the little fucking thing. If our government has been corrupt and all this other stuff, do you really think they care about the deliveries of who, this, that, and the third, and even the people that are a part of being a part of marketing for the politics? They're all in cahoots together. The celebrities, the politicians, the government, they are all in one same, what do you call it, gang, if I'm gonna put it that way. Club, I'm gonna put it that way. They're all working together. The celebrities are just to distract you because they know people like to be entertained. So I don't even think the politicians give a fuck if you give a fuck about who you're voting for. We just need y'all to vote so we can put somebody in here, make it look like we doing some shit, all the while they're being corrupt anyway.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, putting someone in office that we don't know anything about as far as the policies, just because they're Black, or like some celebrity said, "Oh yeah, vote for this person," even though, like, I have no idea what the fuck he's going to do for my community. I don't know if he's going to make sure.
A lot of it, but that's not just Black folks.
Which Democrats have been doing for fucking years, making like false promises to, like, the Black community for fucking years. But
but that's not just Black people though.
Then, like, why is our community in particular is like
that's not just Black
bottom compared to, like, other communities, like Asians, Jews, Hispanic? It's like
a lot of Black people don't vote because they feel as though, like Kenyatta said earlier, they voted and nothing changes in their communities. So a lot of Black people, the reason why I think about it is it's all psychological. We got to think about what we're dealing with here. It's all psyche. So it's like when Obama, hold on, let me say it. Wait. When Obama ran for office, they knew perception, visual, Black face. Of course, Black people are like, oh my God, it's a Black person about to, oh my God. All Black people thought was, a Black person finna go in office and change it for us. We voting for him. That's all they thought. That's all they thought. That was it. Obama could have been like, Obama could have came out there with some chains, gold fronts on, and been rapping what he was gonna do for the country, and motherfuckers still would have voted for him.
And that's the problem.
It has but I'm just
close, yes.
But I'm just saying it has everything to do with perception and visual. And black people feel like if you a black man, you automatically are gonna want to do something for your community. But it doesn't really work like that when you become the president. There's a whole nother organization behind the president that really makes the decisions. The president is just the face.
I think that they've been using celebrities to be able to force a care about a cause for years. I mean, they've been doing it in terms of trying to donate for the AIDS cause. They've been trying to do it in terms of We Are the World. They've been doing it.
We are the world.
They've been doing it for a very, very long time to get you. That's the way to get you to care about things that you wouldn't otherwise care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in
this
particular respect, here are yet some more celebrities who are pushing forth a cause to get you to care about it. And just because you don't necessarily and they're doing it in their style of music, you know what I mean? Like, you may not necessarily be fans of theirs, but the people who are fans of theirs might be more inclined to vote simply because the people that they look up to are saying to do so.
And unfortunately, in our country, most Americans idolize sports and celebrities, entertainers.
It's the things that you.
So they use that. They use that because they know it's going to gravitate.
To those particular people that listen to that music, they put in their music what they care about.
Right.
But wait, nothing to do with politics. So, like, you guys, I don't know. You just keep going around in circles.
Can't the leader come up and elicit change? Is that like can that ever even happen? Like, can't the great leader come up and start to elicit this type of change that we want?
Yeah, if we have some.
It's not hopeless, right? It's not hopeless.
No, if we actually would, I mean, but look at how far along we've come. What presidential candidate has ever really given a fuck about the American people?
Okay. Oh, you're right. But is that to say that it'll never happen?
I can't say that, because you know why I can't say that? Because so far it hasn't happened.
I know, I hear that.
So I can't. It's hard to be hopeful for something that ain't never happened. So it's like, and then when you have a government that's already failing us and continuing to fail us, what would make me want to put faith and trust in that shit? What? Because that definitely ain't gonna make me have no faith and trust. Not me. So it's like, you have to,
the only way for us to be able to exact that type of change and get someone in there who actually cares is for us to vote.
And to do your research. You got to know who you're voting for, though. You got to know these candidates. I don't care if you got to run all the way back to their childhood. You got to know these candidates because, like, most of the presidents have been white, old, Caucasian men that come from how old y'all think Joe Biden is?
What's that?
What generation do you think Joe Biden comes from?
I mean, I already know, like, he labeled like black men as super predators. So
right. So I mean, we got to think about
the stop and frisk law. So it's like, I already know what Joe Biden's about, but like, again, I know that because like I paid attention, or like I did my research on like who the fuck Joe Biden is, which is why I didn't vote for him. Which is why I didn't let like some random fucking celebrity just because they got paid.
But that's because you know better.
You have to
start. There's a lot.
That's based on like parenting and like being taught how to educate
But
myself
you know what?
and
But
do
you know what?
proper
But
research to know who and what I'm voting for, which is one of the issues within the black community. That's what
you
I
know
like.
what?
Not to
I
say
would
that
We're
you
say
repeating the
can't
same
get
shit
there.
over and over again. So
Not to
I
say
would
that you
say not
can't
even
get there.
parenting,
Not to say
because
that you
you
can't
can
get
go
there,
and
but I think that
you can unteach yourself. You can unteach yourself some things that we've been taught hasn't been correct. So if there are some things that you feel isn't correctly taught to you, you have to go back. Sometimes your parents ain't gonna teach you things that you probably should really know and that they probably should know. But we all come up in a different type of generation. So you
it's
do
not
have
to
to do your
say
due
it's not to
diligence.
say that you can't get there in terms of educating yourself about who to vote for. It's you have to start with the base, right? So practice voting. You know what I mean? Like at least get into the habit or the routine of voting, period. Because right now you're not voting for anybody. At least we can start with voting in general, because if we have, I think we're trying to skip a step, you know what I mean? Like we're skipping the step of voting. And I understand like we should educate ourselves, but there were times when I wasn't as, I started off voting because I was of age to vote. I didn't fully always start at the very
Oh, that's
beginning and
everybody.
educate myself on what voting, on who to vote for and things of that nature. I just started voting. You know, sometimes you get into the ballot box and you'd be like, who the fuck is representative such and such? Or who, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But now that you do know,
But now that I do know, I know to do all of those things beforehand. But a lot of first time voters, they probably won't do that.
right?
We're just trying to get them into the habit or the routine to actually voting and doing those things and committing the act of doing that. And then maybe on further down the line, then they start to educate themselves a little bit more, for sure. But
I mean, I
yeah,
agree with
like
you too,
another
though.
8 or 4 years where like the cycle continues, and yeah,
I
okay.
think it's gonna be the next, like, really next, like, generation, maybe even 2 generations from now, that kind of thinking will happen. Maybe in
Yeah,
like a brown and
yeah.
black
Once
community,
everyone starts putting the
which
wrong
kind of sucks
motherfuckers in
because that means
office,
you have to
like
wait a
now.
while.
no, we have to get them to do it first.
All right, you guys, that was a really good topic, Michael, that you brought to us.
Yeah,
If you
good
guys
job,
want,
Mike.
yeah, that was a good one. If you guys want to dive more into that discussion, y'all hit them up on Instagram. Hit them up on their live on Instagram, and y'all can talk more into details on that. So
No, don't
we're
do
gonna.
that. I don't want to talk about this.
I'm just like, we're gonna move forward. We only got a couple more topics left. So our sex topic for tonight. Let's talk about sex, baby. Kind of a
Hold
little
up, let me get
left
another drink
field.
before we start this. I'm gonna get drunk and horny.
This is not really a okay, but
And masturbate, probably. We'll get to the masturbating, probably.
right. He's sick. Okay, while we wait on Michael to fill his cup up, the sex topic for tonight is: does masturbation bring about impurities, i.e., sex demons, dark entities? Come on, dog.
What? I'm
Not
getting
yet,
ready.
Mike. Not yet. Not yet.
No,
Not yet?
Michael's not doing it right.
There's better things than Vaseline.
Yeah.
What?
Where's the music? The candles?
What's better than
All
Vaseline?
this shit, bro. I'm trying to like beat my dick and go. What's all this? Where are the flowers? Where's the music? I'm like, I don't got time for all this shit. What the
He got to romance himself.
I
He got
manage
to
myself. Like, just show me some
That
titties
Lenny
and ass,
Williams
or like talk
song?
about pussy and let's go.
he
Damn.
got to get himself in the mood.
Oh, this is unnecessary shit.
You asexual.
Man, now I'm like, man, now my nipples are soft. Go ahead, man. Y'all just boring.
Okay, so does masturbation bring about impurities, i.e., sex demons, dark entities? Dancehall artist Spice says that she no longer masturbates because you're having sex with sex demons, and these demons can cause issues in your relationships. Now, for all y'all in the chat that are into maybe like spiritual entities or energies, I do believe in good and bad in the world. I do believe in spiritual entities, bad ones, good ones. But I don't know if I don't know about this one. But I could kind of see where she was going when she said that it can affect your relationships. Because before, remember when we talked about that clip from Daily Wrap Up Crew? Shout out to Daily Wrap Up Crew, where they had the young lady up there that was talking about she can use a rose and she don't need no man because she got the rose and the rose a man can't do what the rose can do. So maybe not demons, but it could maybe alter your reality of what sex is really intended to be and what it should be. And it is supposed to be enjoyed with someone. But let me get into it real quick. Let me just pull up this.
Like, face can like us people, I just feel like I don't go, the first relationship and the first man I've ever had sex with in the entire America for the past 20 years. Wow. So you remember the first time you ever had an orgasm? Of course. Yeah. Was it nice? I would say so, yeah. You would say so. Yeah. But I've had almost orgasm before. Okay. He used to take me there. He takes me to a place. The Philly guy? Okay. Our next guy. Our next secret guy. She said he takes me to that place. Takes me to a place. Ma'am. She's thinking about it right now.
Chicago.
Masturbate for you, like
okay, here it is.
Like to play with yourself. Was that ever an issue? So I used to play with myself, but when I got older and I found out what comes with it, I stopped. What comes with it?
What?
Listen. Just listen.
Put that shit away.
It's there. When you masturbate, you're having sex with sex demon, like. Really? I never heard that. Put it up on your phone. It's a sex demon called incubus. So you have a male sex demon and a female sex demon. Okay. So when you masturbate, you're having sex with a male sex demon. Wow. And it also will be in a relationship with you and cause problem in your actual relationship. Is that masturbation? I masturbate a lot. Yeah, my love. You have to look for that. Oh, here we go. It's on Twitter. Masturbation is sex with demons. It's a to Satan and sex. I find anything you want to find on the internet though, because we can find the exact opposite. No, but if you Google and stuff, about a sex angel. Sex angel. I read it a lot. Some people don't read it. Read up on it. It's called incubus and succubus or something like that. I'm so interested in this now. I feel like I've seen some incubus and succubus porn. Succubus? It's a sex demon that really literally will.
It's so fucking dumb.
Relationship. So when your man has sex with you, it causes
you didn't say yours was dumb.
Yes, it's masturbating really open. And then you and your man can't get along and stuff like that,
Did you hear what she said?
Demon. So what am I supposed to do for your masturbation? So I ain't got no work. My boyfriend spend a lot of time apart because I travel for work. So we don't really get to see each other as much as we should. And I masturbate.
Now, didn't she just say it can affect your relationship?
Yeah, I said Twitter. Forget about the interview. They're saying it's superstitious, and they said that there's a rather juicy description of a woman masturbating in Song of Songs in the Bible. She does not get into trouble for it. They said, ask the person who told you that to provide book, chapter, and verse. If they can't do it, call them a Pharisee.
That's Michael. That's what Michael said.
No. I know that, I guess because I haven't been in a relationship in a minute, after masturbating, going to a guy.
Hold on, listen.
I thought it was the same thing because I'm not as sexually experienced as I would like to be, and I feel like because I don't do certain things, like you said, I'm like, no, I don't do that. And my friends you just said you suck, and I suck.
Okay, then they start going into their own conversation about sex, but she was gonna start saying because she doesn't have a man and she masturbates, she thinks that probably sometimes it causes friction whenever she is trying to be sexually involved with a man. So maybe not the whole, if you don't believe in spirits, if you don't believe in demons, blah, 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 whatever, to each its own. But I believe that it can have an effect on your sexual interaction with your partner if you're doing it too much. Now, Michael, in your defense, I know you're in a long distance relationship. I'm sure it gets extremely hard but not in a literal way. But
Yes, it does.
what is something? What is? Do you think that if you didn't masturbate, what would happen?
Wait,
He'd
first of
blow up.
all, who
Well,
all
didn't
those? First
didn't
of
we
all,
talk
Mike,
about
before
this
you
like
answer,
last week as far as like built up aggression and shit like
Wait,
that?
hold on, pause, Michael. What happened?
before you
My
answer, Michael, who are all those niggas behind you?
what
Niggas
niggas?
behind me, what?
All those sex demons in that room behind you.
There's like 20 of them
Hey, yo,
back
well,
there.
There's
y'all
like
get the fuck
20
out
motherfuckers
now,
in
man.
this room.
Get the privacy, shit.
Yo, it's so
No.
stupid. Oh,
God
Charmaine,
damn, I'm
They
trying
all
to spit my
Charmaine,
dick and pee.
hey,
they
hey,
all showed up
Charmaine
when the
said, hey,
Vaseline came out. They was like, oh shit, it's my turn now.
My bad,
They're like,
y'all.
no
Like,
voting,
sometimes I
no
try to do
bucking.
shit
That's
in
what they said.
private and, like,
yo,
they just nosy as
yo,
hell.
y'all, that remind me of the reel where they be like, where the females are going through different whole phases, and she's like a different phase. That would be you, Michael, with the different demons. Yeah, this is my homeboy Incubus. Whenever you pull out the damn
Oh, my God.
Vaseline.
This is ridiculous.
Charmaine said, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't have to masturbate. Oh,
You should be masturbating.
Oh, y'all got quiet.
Ain't nobody trying to wait. Ain't nobody trying to wait.
Y'all got quiet.
You can't say that. You know, I mean, there's like certain situations where it's like, you know, your significant other is not there. Maybe they're at work. Maybe they ain't getting off to like later. It's kind of like, man, shit, I can't wait, man. I gotta get this nut out now.
King Shotty said them demons like, Mike, are you ready?
I mean, that's the
Hey,
whole
go
thing.
ahead, bro. Like,
That's the whole thing. Like we talk about it. What was the what's that show that's on Netflix where they talk about where they have the
hell yeah, I'm ready.
it's
Bend
the
your ass
animated
over. I mean,
show.
shit.
It's the animated
What?
show with the hormone monster, and then they have like what's that show?
Oh, on Netflix? I ain't seen that one.
There's like a new animated Netflix show where it's about kids and they're experiencing puberty for the very first time, and they're coming up and experiencing sex and these feelings and
Oh, wow.
hormones, and so there's like an actual hormone monster that comes out and is like, yeah, you need to do it. You need to like
there you go.
right. You need to touch her real.
Oh, it's called Big Mouth.
Right there. Big Mouth. That's fucking
I've never.
hilarious show. But
That's a Netflix show.
it's a
Yes,
Netflix
I've
show.
seen that. I didn't know that's what it was about.
Never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those hormone monsters are. It's supposed to be like. I think that's essentially what she's talking about. Is like this hormone monster shows up, and is like, yeah, you need to wank it real hard. Why don't you do it right now? You know, right?
Jesus Christ.
Not right now. You're supposed to wait until you're in there. You know, like
Barry said he loved that show.
it's a
Hey, Barry.
show. It's a funny show because it touches on all of those feelings that we had when we were that young. You know what I mean?
Right.
They start to like add a little bit of a comedic spin on all of those things. But sorry to cut you off, Mike, before you started talking about your masturbate.
Before you started masturbating.
Oh no, it's cool, man. I'm still waiting for everyone to get out of the room before I start.
Right.
These niggas are still here, so it's like I don't know what y'all.
They ain't got nowhere else to go.
So y'all don't think that it could cause? Okay, I think the only way it could cause a problem in your relationship is if like you are sexually active with your partner, but whenever y'all done, it's not doing nothing for you. You gotta go masturbate. Is that the demon telling you come back on over here? He ain't doing right.
I mean, rarely does it happen at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's rare sometimes, but there are a lot of people who I don't know, they check out. There's some people who are like, well, got mad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
What you about to do?
I will say I've done that before. I have had sex with someone and afterwards I did not feel satisfied, and when they went over and went to sleep, I masturbated to get off.
Right.
And so
you don't like fuck around though and like start like maybe you want to like masturbate in front of them and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I've done that with somebody before, and we like masturbated in front of each other, and like just to try something.
Man. Like,
but just to try something, like it was like a foreplay, and then we might do it after that. But
I just gotta like learn how to spice shit up, man. That's all.
You gotta make it interesting.
You gotta make it interesting, man. You gotta like do some interesting shit.
You can't do shit when they get turned over. You like
you be like, come on, wait a minute. I still need but they go.
Like, oh, he's out. He's
you
out.
about to go to sleep now?
Right. Boy, how do you, Michael? So you said that if you never masturbate, you probably would put a hole in the wall or something. Since you've been away from Charmaine.
Put a hole in the wall, Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
because you said
I'm trying to pleasure my dick, not injure it. Jesus.
No. What I'm saying is because you said you get more aggressive and moody when you're backed up. And I said, so you're saying if you never masturbated since you've been apart from Charmaine, you would have put a hole in the wall by now.
I don't think I said that. No, like
no, I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking? Oh no, like I mean, there's other ways like to take out aggression. You know what I'm saying? If you're like sexually,
right? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. I mean, you can work out, you can play video games, you can.
So, do you have to masturbate?
At times, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's like you
masturbate through Charmaine.
You're horny. I mean, like you can only sustain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like it's like like working out or like doing some other type of activity to like sustain.
How long do you think you could be abstinent?
Honestly, like I went like oh wait, does that also include like masturbation too?
Yes, Michael.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, more like 2 days. Shit, what the fuck? Damn.
Right.
You got a sex demon. You are in a relationship with a sex demon. Her name is Incubus.
No damn sex demon. I'm just horny. I need to bust a nut. What the fuck is?
Yes, that's your demon.
Give me that nut.
No, that's me being horny, and I need to get my rocks off. What is this sex demon shit? What is this?
In the room. She in the room with you.
Oh no. Why do people get so fucking bored? They have to like make up this random shit like, oh, I had sex with this sex demon. Like no, you
I don't think
beat the dick. You just fingered yourself. That's it.
I don't think. Yes. Like it's
based off of what?
No, succubus is actually in mythology. Like it's in.
Yeah, but it's a fictional like mythical monster. It's not real.
It's in terms.
It's an entity. It's not like an actual like.
And it depends on the culture a lot of the time. So like it
that's what I was saying.
In certain cultures too, and
especially Caribbean.
And Caribbean culture. Yeah, I think a lot of people in the culture have these entities where they are raised in believing a lot of these things, and so they swear on it. I think it's in terms of like for certain people, if you believe in these spirits, then you give life to it, right?
Right, exactly.
Personally, for me, if you believe in it, then it's going to happen a lot of the time. It's
exactly
the power of
the mind. There you go, Michael.
And so
what you just said, the mind. Make believe.
Yes, Michael, you don't believe your mind is very powerful?
Only if you make it.
That's what you just said.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you believe in something that's not real, if you give power to something that's real, I mean that's up to you. But it's like if something's not fictional, if it's not real, if there's absolutely no evidence of like a sex demon or some substance
Michael.
actually being in
Some people,
existence in reality, then that's a you problem, man. Like
no,
that's
some
Do
something
people
you
are
think
raised.
Jeffrey? Do you think Jeffrey
Some people
Dahmer
are
had a
raised.
demon?
No,
Do
no,
you think
Oh,
Jeffrey Dahmer had a demon?
yeah. Some people are
no, he was
raised
just fucking
on those
crazy
types of
and loved eating black
ideologies
people.
and spirituality. Some people are raised on those things, but
Right.
and raised on them from such a young age, all the
Hoodoo. There
way
you
up a
go,
lot of the
girl.
time. We have to think about certain things like, and it's not true as we get older, but certain things that we believed for a very, very long time as we were younger, like step on a crack, breaking mama's
Fuck
back,
them back.
like
Yeah.
Candyman. All of those things existed to us because we believed in all of
Believed
those
it.
things
Yeah,
Right.
because we were young and immature
and we were young,
and didn't know any
right?
better.
But
You just
in
use it as an
terms of
example.
like sex demons and things of that nature, for people that exists just as well when you become an adult. A lot of the
Right.
time, it depends on
According to who?
what you believe in.
Hey, you're not there are some people that don't masturbate because they feel like it's like weird or it makes them feel uncomfortable or makes them feel dirty or they just feel like it's out
Yeah,
of some people, they just don't do
or
it
just,
or it
or
might
just
make them
doesn't,
feel some type of way.
yeah,
So
or just doesn't do it for him. Doesn't get their rocks off. It's like, hey, I need the real thing. Like my right hand is not going to do it.
right.
yeah,
So
that's fantastic.
It's different
right.
strokes for different
For
folks.
different
Hello.
folks. Y'all funny as hell. That was good, you guys. That was a good one. Okay, so we're gonna move on over because this is our last topic and it's getting close to time to close out the show. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to use another topic for next week. I'm gonna just end off with this topic and then I'll use this other topic for a relationship topic for next week. Are single men
Orlando, I can't stand you.
Are single men being bamboozled by other single men relationship gurus on what it means? What?
Sorry,
What?
I just saw what Orlando wrote.
Orlando.
What he say?
I don't think you
I'm
should.
about to criminal this demon.
Hey yo. Hey,
Y'all are
King Chai and
sick.
Orlando are going off in the chat right now, bro.
Y'all
Y'all
are sick. Y'all
Hey,
are
y'all funny,
sick.
Bro,
Yeah, all
say that when you were
all
Charmaine
Hell
one
King
time.
Shotty
I'll
said.
turn around.
All Hell King Shotty said. Demon said. Same time tomorrow. Mike said, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all childish.
Oh my
We have
god.
a really good audience on this show for all you
Oh
newbies in the chat.
Oh, that's
Our
funny.
chat stay lit. So get with it. And listen, you come on this show, you got to get with it in the chat. That's funny. Okay, you guys. So we're going to close out on this last topic. It's kind of correlated to relationship topic. I had a part 2 to relationship topics, but we can save it for next week. Are single men being bamboozled by other single men relationship gurus on what it means to or even knows how to be in a relationship with a woman? Is the blind leading the blind? And with that caption being said, I'm going to go ahead and play the playback.
I feel like the major issue with single men today.
Hold on. I'm trying to flip it.
I feel like.
Well, let me flip it. Hold on.
I don't know if it will, but
Let me just go to the chat because it's hold on, it'll be faster this way. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff already trending. Okay, here it is.
I feel like the major issue with single men today is getting caught up online, listening to other single men.
Bye, Barrett. We love you.
Who do not know how to be in a relationship with a woman. The biggest relationship voices have been single men. So when single men are talking to all men, it's just the blind leading the blind. But what I've learned as a man is that it's truly on us to accept responsibility. And what makes us a man, our rite of passage into manhood, is accepting 100% responsibility for our life. Not blaming the white man, not blaming the government, not blaming our dad, not blaming our mom, and not fighting against our women. But when we say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, when we take that approach, everything changes. So I went into the space of seeking to understand, then being understood. And when I took that step, that's when everything changed. And it's hard. It's hard. It's hard for men because we equate our net worth to our self-worth. So when we feel we're making money, we feel better about ourselves. That is so true. When we don't have money, we feel like crap. That's so true. And when we have money, we look down on other people. Especially our woman. If she doesn't have money. I feel like the major issue with single men today is getting caught up.
Oh, okay, thank you. So with what I said in the caption and what he elaborated on, what do you guys think about that thought?
I don't know. Isn't he like kind of like a hypocrite? He's like doing exactly what he said men supposedly shouldn't be doing as far as like taking advice from. I don't know. Is he single? Like, should I be taking advice from him?
I don't think he was just. Yeah, he's married, but I think he was just saying that how can single men who don't have healthy relationships or aren't at least married? It's like, how can you? It's like somebody trying to tell somebody. I don't know how to use this as an example. Somebody that's like a profession at something.
Right. So like me off the street who has never fought fire a day in my life is telling firefighters everywhere how to do their job.
Right.
I mean, like, who's he pertaining this to? Because like there's
he's not pertaining it to anybody. He's just saying that there are a lot of, which there are, this is a fact, there are a lot of single men generated like podcasts and guru specialists and coaches, but they don't even have wives themselves. So how are you going to guide me into having a healthy relationship with a woman or have a wife and you don't even have one?
I mean, well, like, isn't that like based off of like experience of like either being formally married or like being out there in the real world, like going out dating women and like it's based on the person's experience.
I mean, you can be formally married, but then now you're basically showing men what you did wrong because now then you're no longer in a marriage.
I mean, yeah, what's wrong? That's good advice to take. I mean, you can be
that
married.
Is, but why don't we ever?
But you could be married in like a 40-year relationship, but just because what worked for you doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for me.
That's true.
It's just talking about generally. It's just talking about generally what works for a successful relationship, like stemming from a successful marriage or a successful relationship, and speaking towards that or speaking from that a little bit more. I think in terms of speaking about single men, a lot of single men flock to a lot of other single men who have erected themselves as relationship gurus, and it doesn't necessarily always hit on the right frequencies, if you will. And so in this particular respect, it's like, why seek out someone who is not excelling at the goal that you're trying to accomplish?
Well, I guess my question is like, it just depends on like who exactly are you listening to, and I would also add on that, it's like, if a man or if a young man doesn't have like a father figure, if he doesn't have other male friends to talk to, like, well, who's he supposed to get this advice from? Women online, or where exactly is he going with this?
I guess you have to be a little bit. You have to have a little bit more discernment as to who you are taking this information from, because they
Don't
can
follow
easily
trends.
guide
Don't
you
follow
that
everything.
Yeah, but if the
with the
advice
wrong
is working
information.
for you, then like, what's the issue?
What'd you say?
If the advice is working for you, and if this like particular person who's giving this advice, let's just say like he has like a service online where it's like he has like couples that can vouch for the advice that he's giving out and it's working for them, like, why not take it? I mean, it's up to you if you want to take this person's advice or not, whether they're married or if they're single, whether if they're successful or not. It's like, it's really up to the individual. Like,
I
just
mean, I
because
agree with that too.
if you
I
take
agree.
advice from like someone who's successful, like an Andrew Tate or a Kevin Samuels, it could either work for you or it can't. But you can also take advice from a fucking homeless person, and like that can either be a good or a bad thing. So like,
I
it
just
really
think
doesn't
I
matter.
think it just means by experience. Wouldn't you rather get advice for someone that is currently married and have a successful marriage than from someone who was previously married and had a failed marriage, or someone who's single, has never been married, doesn't know anything about marriage, and you're someone that's trying to build your relationship into getting into marriage, and you don't really know the right direction to go into to have a successful marriage. And this guy's been married for 10 to 12 years. He's not like wallowing in his marriage, despaired in his marriage, depressed about his marriage, wants to leave his wife, faking it. Because there are a lot of men that are married, but they're faking it. They're not happy. So I think that's what he meant. Like, as far as following men that actually want to be married, want to have a successful, healthy marriage, not just because, oh, I'm supposed to get married, but I hate this shit.
Like who exactly am I supposed to take advice from? Because like you just said, there's men out there who put on a front, who say all types of things as far as like, oh, like if you follow this advice, you can be happily married like I am to my wife for like 40 plus years. For all we know, he might be the most miserable motherfucker that we know of. Not too long ago, Christina, like you posted this on Instagram where a guy was in court, and
Yes,
he was talking to one of the officers saying like, hey, look at this brother, man. He looks unhappy as hell. And then the guy that was married looked at him like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, I'm happily married for like 20 years. What are you talking
he
about?
murdered his
And then we
wife.
found out later he killed his fucking wife.
Yep. He didn't say he was happily married. He didn't say he was happily married. He just said, he asked him, how long have you been married? And he said, over 20-something years. And then the guy said, you don't look. He said, look at him. He doesn't even look happy.
Yeah.
And the guy was just like, kind of like what? Because he's on camera on a TV court show, some fake shit anyway. But he never said he was happily married. The guys pointed out that he wasn't happily
I
married.
didn't say that he said that he was happily married, but he gave him that look like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I'm good. Like, you know, like, what? Like,
Because the guy,
he didn't offer up that information. The judge put that on him. The
right.
judge said that he was in a
He said he's happily married.
Right. The judge said that he was happily married, and how just because you've been married for that long doesn't necessarily mean that you're happy in that marriage. I think a lot of it has.
Then why would I want to take advice from you, man?
No. It's not about taking advice. It's just it's like what you said. If you take advice for what works for you, fine. But oh my God, Michael, you're in a relationship. Would you take advice from a single nigga that has a hard time getting bitches, ain't never had a successful relationship, and he's trying to tell you about your relationship? You gonna be like, nigga, why are you trying to tell me about my relationship? You ain't even got no chick.
Well, I was gonna say, like, me as of right now, I don't need to take advice from anyone because I'm happy with the person.
Hypothetically.
Why are we going off of hypotheticals? It's kind of like, I'm happy where I'm at. Like, that's a better question for someone.
I know, but okay, just because of the topic,
who's not happy with their life.
Just because of the topic, hypothetically, if you're in a relationship and you have somebody around you who is single and he sees you in your relationship, and in his mind, he's like, nigga, What if he's just hating? He ain't gonna stick around if you don't start doing this, or you
Well,
don't do this, that, and the third.
well,
So
I
all I'm
would
saying,
say this. I would listen to what he has to say, and if it makes sense to me, then I would probably I would take heed to his advice, and if I think it's bullshit, then hey, whatever you just said to me is for the birds.
That's it. Yeah,
I mean,
I
that
think
simple.
Kenyatta, what Kenyatta said was right about discernment because, like, what can I take advice from? Let's say someone's speaking about Latino issues, but he's not
right,
Latino, right?
right,
But he seems to be making sense, right? You
right,
know, am I going to disregard him because well, he's not Latino? He does obviously doesn't know what I'm talking about. Like it's kind of like discerning the wisdom that you're getting. You know,
I think you
that's
just
what
have to pick and
you do
choose.
have to decide.
Right.
You can't be devoted to a single guy and everything he
Uh,
says is right, right?
Tell that to some of the Kevin Samuels fans,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that
correct. Yeah,
was a
I like
god to some of these guys.
I listen to Kevin Samuels. Some of the shit he says is
I do
right, but
too.
some of the shit he says is wrong too. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like I'm not gonna be like everything he says is gonna be it's like fact.
Right.
I think it's
I
right.
about
think
us how we
I think
receive it,
if
how we
something
have to discern it.
I
I
agree
think
with
if
that. I agree
something
with that.
is directly speaking to you, you will feel that. You will be able to
Right.
receive it in a way that um
Relatable.
that comes from a sense of relation. I think that there are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who are out there and who are speaking towards the negative a lot of the time when
Mm-hmm.
they're speaking from their own experience and how it acted out negatively, and so then they start drawing conclusions and speaking a little bit more definitively, you know what I mean? Whereas that there are people who are speaking about what has worked for them, and as well as spoken with a lot of or had a lot of experience with speaking with a lot of people to understand and to gain a little bit more knowledge to be able to put that back out there, not for their own personal gain, but to actually you can tell when someone is trying to um, do it for personal gain as
Right.
opposed to generally trying to help the masses, right?
Right.
So like you can be able to, not everybody can, right? Because a lot of people are willing are looking for enablers a lot of the
Right.
time to say that how they have been feeling or what they have been doing is well in the right, as
Right.
opposed to there are people who are out there who will challenge your way of thinking in order to make you become a better person. And so
Right.
I think having that discernment to be able to determine if they're speaking out of trauma or if they're speaking out of experience to be able
Mm-hmm.
to help you and your further endeavors a lot of the
I
time.
agree with that. I agree with that. Very well said. I agree with that as well. And then someone in the King Shad in the chat said just because you married, you could suck doesn't mean anything. But somehow you got married and this person's still single. So I'm just
Sometimes
saying it just depends on what it goes for the person. Like what works for that
Sometimes
person.
it depends on the experience, that whether it be a bad experience or whether it be a
Mm-hmm.
good experience, sometimes they are speaking out about what they learned from that experience, right? So
Right.
like if they're
Right.
speaking out what they've learned from that experience and it helps you, um that's fine. But a lot of the time, there are some single people who haven't experienced a whole lot, who are taking on what other people have told them and regurgitating that.
Right.
Or
Exactly. Exactly.
they are because I've seen a lot of these like single self-help gurus who like or relationship gurus who haven't excelled at any type of relationship, and it makes it hard to be able to take what they're saying uh at surface level or
Mhm.
any other type of level
Believable.
a lot of the time. But you know, sometimes it may hit, you know what I mean? Sometimes but a lot of the time, like those little nuggets could be surrounded by a whole lot of bullshit too. So like,
Right,
if I
right.
gotta wade through the shit to find like the silver lining, I'm probably not listening to the right person.
Right, exactly. That's very well. I think that's very well put. Good close out, you guys. Good comments. Is there anything else you want to say on that, Orlando?
Nah, like, yeah, you just have to know, like, if it makes sense to you, you know, doesn't,
Right.
and I think we shouldn't, like, I think we shouldn't, like, discriminate who we're getting the wisdom from sometimes, you know, like,
Right.
oh, man, you know, if you know, sometimes I tend to do this. If they're younger than me, I'm not listening to them. But,
Yeah.
you know, this person could very well be really wise and they're young. You know, why
Right.
am I gonna like not listen to
Agreed.
them because they're young? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
I'm
true,
so
especially
easy
nowadays.
I'm so easy to accept someone who's older, their wisdom, but they could be telling me some fucked up shit. But a person who's
Right.
younger could be telling me some really like legit, real stuff. But I'll disregard them because you know they're young or they masturbate. You know what I'm saying? With demons and shit. You know, like.
Bringing
Like
them
same,
demons around and
I've
shit.
I
never
mean, well,
like me
I
personally, I've
mean, I
never
will
been in
say
a straight
that, like,
relationship before. So but I've experienced a lot of uh straight relationships within my own life. You know what I mean? Like as far as my parents, as far as the relationships that my sister, like I've been surrounded by a lot of them a lot of the time. And it's not to say that by experience of that. And then on top of that, like us being actors, a lot of the time we read through a lot of that stuff and all of these different situations where we have to read between the lines and understand people on a different level. A lot of the time we study people for a living, so it's like not
Exactly.
to say
Exactly.
just because I'm not in a straight relationship or a heterosexual relationship doesn't mean that I don't understand human behavior and love on a surface, on a a deeper
Yeah.
level, I guess you
Yeah,
could say.
like I listen to Mike, like his wisdom, he has helped me many times, and he's younger than me. And I don't know, sometimes, you know, I'm like, really? That's the kind of wisdom you got from me right now? But other times, he's like, man, he's really on point with a lot of the shit he says. Like,
Yeah. And a lot
it's
of
really
times
like,
I get judged because I'm a woman and I have
yeah,
some wisdom.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't disrespect
Now
people because who they are.
that sounded traumatic. Like that sounded like
that
some other
sounded so dramatic, and you sounded
that
No,
like
he
an
sounded
said
like
episode.
I'm like, yeah,
dramatic.
some
sure,
kind of
yeah,
drama.
you
You
right, you
sounded like
right.
an episode of She-Hulk. That's what you
No,
sounded
he
like
said
right now.
dramatic. Did you say dramatic or dramatic?
Traumatic.
Both.
Right. No, for real. Because a lot of times when I get insightful with people or in conversation, sometimes people are like, oh shit, I didn't even know she could think on that level. She seems so ditzy and she laughs a lot. And she's bubbly. Never thought that she could have those types of conversations. So I get that a
Underestimating
lot.
you.
Yeah, I get that a whole lot. Or like I get the looks like, how do you know that? Or where did you learn that at? Like, how do you know? Like that whole like you're female. How in the world could you ever know something of that intelligence level? I don't know. Whatever. I don't
Yeah,
care.
because I think that way of you all the time. It's kind of
No,
like,
you don't. No, you don't.
I
No,
just
you
think
don't.
like, what does Christina know? She's the angry black woman,
That's
and
right. That's right. And the baby mama and the single
What
mama
does she
and the
know?
baby daddy don't want the mama because I'm a single mama now. I'm leftovers. Don't nobody want me. All of that.
hey man, but Jay, you feed into what you think is real.
Oh, I know shit.
I thought you was
Girl,
gonna say
don't
Exactly. You
talking
know
to
none of
me.
that is true, but none of that is true about you. So you
Right.
ignore it and you move on.
I thought
That's
you was gonna
right.
say
Correct?
something fucked up
Okay.
like you wear it well. I thought you were gonna like I thought you was gonna be real rude and shit.
Damn, I should have said that. No.
Y'all a trip, but that concludes our show for tonight, y'all. Thank you for everybody that tapped in tonight. For some of you new people that popped in, please follow us at the Mic is Hot Instagram Live Podcast _show. That's for Facebook and Instagram. I see y'all been running them numbers up. I think we have 130 followers now on Instagram. Yes, thank you so much, you guys. I remember we didn't have like any. Y'all ran it up.
It'll get there.
Right, and we really need y'all to get to YouTube, really run them numbers up. Go to YouTube. The channel is The Mic is Hot Live, not Instagram, because when we go on YouTube, we don't want to have that attachment there. So live podcast show, just look for the logo, the microphone with the flame. It'll pop right up. Just put the @ in. Subscribe, follow us, comment on the videos. Tell us what you guys want to hear us talk more about. We're going to probably do a call-in show soon. You might see us collaborate with some other podcast shows. Some people have been kind of reaching out about that. So I love everybody that's been a part of what we've been doing. We've been doing it since like the beginning of the year, like I think March or something like that. We've been consistent. Yeah, like March or April or something like that. We've been consistent. We barely missed a show. I think we've only missed like 1 or 2 maybe episodes. And I love my guys. Thank you to Ken. Thank you to Orlando. Thank you to Michael for you guys just being, because especially with Michael and Ken, I know Orlando, you came towards the end, but since you guys have been my day one since the very, very beginning. And of course, just having Orlando come on brings just a good blend with all of us. I love you guys. Everybody that's been in the chat since day one, y'all are the realest, because y'all keep us going. Y'all keep us wanting to keep entertaining you guys, talking to you guys. It's cool when you guys DM us and leave us inspiring messages on how we make you guys feel good and you enjoy watching us. That makes us feel good. So we love y'all, and until next Thursday, y'all know it's 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Western Time. The Mic is Hot. Instagram Live. Y'all have a good night, good weekend, and Charmaine is going to come with the joke. Charmaine, when I start saying my end credits, go ahead and come with the joke.
You supposed to big come with a joke.
Okay, she ready? Yeah, she ready. We ready, girl. She got a riddle. It's a riddle, y'all. Even y'all in the chat can participate. This is how we close out our show.
Shit. Here we go.
Charmaine, you need to come with some Halloween riddles, because it's Halloween.
Oh, yeah, Halloween's coming up. Okay, she said, what spends all its time on the floor but never gets dirty?
Semen.
Oh, my God.
No, that would make sense. Yeah.
Wait, spends all its time on the floor and never gets dirty? Oh.
What?
Spends all its time on the floor but never get. It can't say a carpet because a carpet gets dirty. All its time on the floor. All its time on the floor but never get.
I think it's an idea, not a physical thing.
Ah.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Spend all his time on the floor but never gets dirty.
All its time.
A Roomba.
What's a Roomba?
I thought a Roomba, but I would say
it's.
No, wait, hold on. One more guess. Charmaine.
It's an idea.
Wait,
so
feet or shoes.
It's not shoes.
Not shoes and feet get dirty.
Love.
Love?
I don't know.
Orlando said.
Love.
Wait, bodies? I don't know.
All right, now this is a good one. Shit, damn.
Okay, we give up, Star.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Charmaine. Give us the answer.
It's gonna be something so fucking
easy.
Predictable, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Charmaine.
That was a good one, Charmaine.
It depends on like what angle the sun is at.
Yeah, I was gonna say the wall. Like my shadow on the wall right now.
Yeah. Your shadow's not always on the floor.
But it starts on the floor.
It is. It starts on the floor, and then
it starts on the floor. It starts on the floor. She's got that was good, Char. Thank you, Charmaine.
Not on the floor.
Is it Halloween riddles?
Yeah, she said she gonna give us some Halloween riddles next week. Y'all follow us individually. You can follow me at Shantae Moy. Follow my boy Ken at Skipper Finn Official. Of course, Michael Foster at Michael Mikel Foster 64. Orlando, you just have to watch him on the show. Y'all know how we do. We coming back to you next Thursday. Peace and love, everybody. And thank you for joining us on the Mike is Hot Instagram Live podcast show. Y'all take it easy. We'll see you next week.
Peace, y'all.